Hi, Christian Manietta here with TrySpecific.com. I've got men's 40-44 age group champion for Ironman New Zealand last weekend, Gagey I should say, better known as Gagey. One of my training buddies up here, pretty much my only training buddy up here, and his wife, and Charlotte when she wasn't heavily pregnant.
You got any other mates?
No, I got no friends, so my only friend. So we want to have a little bit of an interview with Gagey after his awesome win in Taupo last weekend. Not only did that, he was top 10 overall in a handy time and personal best of 9:10. Tell us about your day.
Good day. Yeah. I mean, crappy weather, beautiful weather. But just had a race that went to plan. So swam reasonably well. Out with a couple of guys that can ride well, and we rolled through. And nutrition went well. And yeah, just happy all round, really. Just one of those days.
You don't ask for much more than that. Now, people are going to be surprised again. There was a little bit of a hoo-ha on first off the bike when Damien Angus, aka Danger, won his age group in Kona with pretty limited training. You work for a bank, you've got a family. I know you're time poor as well. You've written your programs. You didn't do as much as I put on your program, which wasn't much at all. So looking back at the data, you're sitting around, if we extrapolate it out at 20 weeks, it comes down to 10 hours a week. And if we go the last 12, it's a little over 12.
Yeah.
Just give us an insight into what you find that you get the most bang for your buck out of the sessions. What are those sessions that, I'm not a fan on key sessions, but I know there are some sessions that if you repeat enough, you're going to get those benefits that keep you racing at the top end in Ironman. Yeah,
sure. Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the athlete as well, and the relationship between athlete and coach. So, the coach's job is to get inside the athlete's head, but it's the athlete's responsibility as well, I think, in my case, to say to you, hey, look, I reckon this works and this doesn't work for me, and provide that feedback. Because otherwise, it's not a one-way street. But there's a couple of swim sessions out there that I really love. One of them's the Waldo set you were talking about.
Yep.
And the other one's the 40-100s. I mean, holding time. What better way to race an Ironman than hold time for the whole every 100, 40 times 3. It's a good one. The ride session, long ride. I tend to like the sort of start it easy, 2 hours easy, an hour and a half moderate, half hour hard with a run off, and doing that consistently.
There we are, talking a long ride. That's 4 hours, folks. Looking at Gagey's data, his max ride was 160? 160 kilometres.
I did 160 twice.
So, what was your bike split?
For the 160?
No, for your Taupo.
501.
501.
Yeah.
Not bad for 160, so I haven't even gone the race distance over the course of training.
Yeah.
Something that's new to you since meeting you is running off the bike.
Yeah, it helps guys do it. I never used to do it, but yeah, you have to do it. To get back to the danger thing, like I wouldn't want to put myself in the same league as him. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. I used to do 20, 25 hours a week, and I've never had really, really bad times, but I've cut down to 10, 12 hours consistently, but good sessions over a 20-week period. And hey, PB 9:10, and I couldn't be happier. And my family life's better, and I've got more time to do other things.
Like drink beer.
Yeah, like drink beer. I'm pretty good at that.
You are, and a bad influence at that.
Yeah.
And a run, 3:10.
Yeah.
That's a PB too, right?
Yeah, by 4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes. What are some of your favourite sessions of tapping that out and getting a great run? Shut up, bird.
Oh look, I love that progressive run.
Yep.
It's only an hour and a half, but I love it. I did that consistently. I did it over hills, over the same course every week. And I had some flat weeks. I had some weeks where I run with my wife, and a couple of weeks there in the middle where she flogged me just through being tired. But if you do that consistently, you get a really good gauge of where you are. So 30 minutes easy, half an hour mod, 20 minutes flat out, which kills, and 10-minute warm down. And that was really my key run session. My long race on a Sunday was 2 hour, I think, 70. That's the longest I ran, 2 hours. Yeah, it's just consistency and hitting those key sessions week in, week out is all you need to do.
So it's pretty awesome. I think if you got some, pen and paper or put in your mind some things to take home here, some education for you guys, even if you are writing your own plans. Progressive pacing is I believe, and so Gagey believes as well, it's how it works well. It is something that works extremely well for the fact that by the time you're doing the quality work, you've got some significant fatigue on the body, and so it's form under duress. So you're starting to get into what it's going to be like in the race, and that's pretty important. Plus, you're not toasting yourself early in the mix either. You're not recruiting super deep into the muscle fibers and taking a long time to recover. And consistency, rolling that in and out. Question is, people say, yeah, but I get bored if the session doesn't change that often. Ironman's not the most interesting sport when you're out there racing it. We all know that. So those sessions, while not the most interesting, where we go, 2 hours easy on the bike, an hour and a half moderate, and then 30 minutes hard. Yeah, not interesting, but it develops that mental capacity as well to keep you pushing through the race.
Yeah. I think doing less workload too, like I've done the last couple of years, and having good results is you can maintain that consistency because do 20-25 hours and you do it for 3 or 4 weeks and all of a sudden you're sick for 3 or 4 days, you don't do it, then you start again, and you're just wasting time, making yourself sick and not training effectively.
And that's what this sport should be about. Sure we train, sure we race, and it's got to be fun, and we want to get performance. But really, triathlon's a lifestyle as well, and it's got to be a lifestyle that's conducive to a good family unit, and getting the most out of it. It shouldn't make you sick in the long term. And as we see here, we've got some exceptional results, and across the board for Tri-Pacific and New Zealand, 3 podiums. So great, all from lower volume work. Now, lower volume, it doesn't make it easy, but it's got to be consistently rolled out.
The sessions still suck. One last thing to reiterate, I reckon, is it is your job as an athlete, my job. Plenty of times I said to Christian, this isn't working, I don't like this session. This is crap, I don't get it, it doesn't seem to work for me. It is your responsibility to try it 3 or 4 times and then go, look, that doesn't work for me. No, Christian's not going to be offended by that. You just go, alright, okay, let's try something different. Let's get the same result, but in a different format, and hey, away you go.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And before we shot this or put this on, we were talking about that case in point. For Stephen, the progressive paced intervals on the bike, or that session on the bike, works really well. He is a good swimmer, 52 minutes. So it affords him that he can race exactly like he trains. If your swim's not so handy and you find you have to do more efforts early on in the bike to move up the field, you might want to be looking at, after a decent warm-up of course, adding in some shorter efforts. They don't have to be long. We don't need to totally whack the body, but adding in some early efforts early on into the session and then progressive pacing throughout to the end. But he is right, you've got a coach and you're not speaking up, you're just following blindly and something's not working, it's not going to work. So, feedback's got to work both ways. As a coach, I can't sit here and understand what's inside your head unless you're communicating it. So, hope you guys get some good information out of this little interview. Any other questions? Add some comments below. Thanks for checking in.
Cheers.